Hello. So I'm going to tell you guys a love story. And just to set the record straight, I'm in love with the French because they're French. As well as that, they also have Daft Punk, and some of them are girls. Now, this one girl I was in love with her name was Amelia, which in French is Amelia, and she was really beautiful. You know, she was, and now when you're in love, what do you guys do? What do you do? Nothing. Great. Well, when I'm in love, I enter the school talent show, and. I entered the school talent show. It was me and my mate, and we get a plan to get me to dance with Amelia, and we sort of drape the idea of a comedy set over it. And so basically the set involved us getting people on stage while we played My Heart Will Go On a Casio keyboard. It was funny. And so I do that, and we get Amelia up on stage, and I dance with her, and it's great. And then later that night, I send her a message saying, hey, I'm sorry about that. I hope you weren't too embarrassed. And I wasn't sorry. Why would I be? And so she replies, and we start talking, and I actually think we start flirting, because I took a shot in the dark and said, hey, I can't believe I got to dance with such a perfect person like you. And she said, you smell nice. Which, on a scale of 1 to making out, is a consensual 9. And as well as this, we decide to go on a date. And I asked her, where should we go? Which was a bit redundant, considering she doesn't come from here. And so I make the decision to go to the zoo. Exactly. I don't know why I thought the zoo would be a good place to go, because it's not very romantic. All we're going to be doing is walking around and going, oh, tigers. Do you have those in France? Oh, elephants. Do you have those in France? Oh, paddle pops. Do you have those in France? And as well as that, we started hanging out at school. And one day it started raining, and she said, hey, can we go somewhere? And what she meant by that was, hey, can we go somewhere to get out of the rain? What I thought she meant by that was, hey, let's go make out. And already knowing that we were going to make out, I decided to take her to the photography darkroom. Because it's dark, and it's a room. So I take her to this pitch black room, and I ask her to close her eyes, which is a bit redundant. And so she closes her eyes, and I realize I've still got my school bag on, so I take that off and makes a thud on the floor. And then I ask her, do you trust me? Now, if I was her, I wouldn't trust me. I've just taken her into a pitch black room, told her to close her eyes, she's heard a thud, and then, do you trust me? Nevertheless, she says yes, which in my books means yes. And I lean in, and it's nervous and tense, and I can feel her like body heat like radiating, and I lean in even further, and I go to kiss her, and she realizes what's happening and jumps back and says no. Now, to be honest, I wasn't expecting this much resistance from the French, but and now I'm trying to recover. I'm like, that wasn't me. There must be someone else in this room. It's pitch black. And she sort of stops me and just says, hey, Harry, can we just go for a walk? And which was an enormous act of kindness on her part. And so we're walking around, and it doesn't feel right. It's awkward, you know. It's like the kind of awkward you feel when you see your mum naked. Don't go like, what? We've all been there. And I'm trying to save this burning ship, and I ask her, oh, hey, what have you thought of New Zealand? And she says, oh, New Zealand is great, but all the Māoris are dumb. I'm like, oh, you're racist. Like that's your thing, you know, some girls are lesbians and you're racist. Now, I'm not saying lesbians are as bad as racists, right? Or am I? No, and I'm like, I'm Māori, and she's like, no, and I'm like, no, I am Māori, and she's like, no, you're not, and I'm like, no, I'm Māori, and she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, see, I'm horny, but you're racist, so balances out. Thank you very much. I've been Harry.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.